my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So today, already shaking it up because this is going to be the last MLM horror stories before we dive into vlogmas. Now clearly I'm still gonna be doing MLM horror stories and vlogmas. I'm just gonna be hopefully doing them in a more fun way, so get ready for that. But let's just jump right into it. If you don't know already, I have a series here on my channel where I read people's MLM horror stories that they send to me. So if you have your own MLM horror story that you want to send to me, I have my email down below. You guys already know it. Got my coffee, got my water because I am parched AF every single time that I read these horror stories. And we have some great ones to get through, so let's get into it. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your popcorn. So here we go. This one says, MLM Huns know better than doctors, question mark. It says, hello, I am blank. Recently saw your YouTube channel and thought I'd share my story. I've attached messages from my story. Let me know if you can open them, but just found your channel and I need to submit it. My first story is May of this year. Someone who graduated 2 years ahead of me in my brother's class, who I've never spoken to personally, cold messaged me on Facebook. I'm gluten-free and also have a corn problem. The product she was trying to sell has cornstarch in it. She acted like she knew more than my personal doctor. My grandfather died of colon cancer, my dad has celiac disease, and I have a severe gluten and corn problem. My stomach hurts very, very much if ingested the wrong thing. So I'm not going to leave my health to someone who just wants to make money out of me for their overpriced health food product that I still can't eat. Because guess what? One of the first ingredients is cornstarch. That was an Arbonne person, by the way. The next story was in August, a couple months later. Since this person is a friend, I will just summarize instead of posting the messages. I had just found out I had a mass, most likely a benign tumor in my head, and was awaiting my first ever surgery. Brain surgery, no less, with full anesthesia. I was a mess of anxiety. People were so awesome that saw my mom's Facebook post asking for prayers that they texted me and her and my fiance that they were thinking and praying for me. One high school friend texted me to say she was praying for me and saw I was having surgery on Facebook, and I thought that she had been so sweet since I haven't seen her in a while. We texted back and forth, and I thought she was being very supportive. She didn't know quite what the surgery was for, but she still knew something was going on, and I honestly didn't want to tell everyone the full details. The right people in my life knew, and that's what matters. 1 week later, she messaged me on Facebook that she was still praying for me and hoped I was doing well. Right after that brief paragraph, she hit the winter key twice to then go into a long message saying how she was a new beauty counter rep and trying to get her name out there. She was passionate about selling it because of her history with infertility and that she was using clean products to help her get pregnant. She wanted to see if I was interested in learning more or to purchase anything. So there I was, a couple days away from having surgery, and she was aware of the surgery date, and she was wondering if I wanted any clean beauty products. What the heck? I'm about to go under the knife. That should be enough of a reason to not bug me. And also, this wasn't, hey, I torn a ligament and I want to get it fixed. This isn't getting my wisdom teeth out surgery. This is brain surgery. A surgery that with one wrong move, I could bleed out, go blind, or have life-threatening adrenal failure. I don't know what that is, sorry. 3 things my surgeon warned me of. It took me so long to type a message without being mean, but I thought it was time to tell her exactly what kind of surgery this was so she knew how wrong this was. I finally told her that I was about to have brain surgery and was pretty scared, and skincare was the last thing on my mind. Heck, I was barely eating and sleeping, let alone taking care of my skin. Sorry, but no. It really made me annoyed and frustrated that a friend who knew I was about to have surgery would try and sell me expensive skincare. 1, surgery costs a lot. I am not looking to spend money. 2, when a friend is going through something scary, no less, something life-threatening, you should try and be giving, not try to sell them things and take their money. And though I am not a doctor myself. 3, I highly doubt that using clean skincare is going to help infertility. There are babies that are being born addicted to drugs because their mother was a drug addict. I think drugs have more chance of affecting fertility than conventional lotion and foundations. Some people unfortunately have issues, and I believe the best people to talk to would be doctors, not your MLM upline. So that is my story just from this year. I definitely have more, but these 2 really bothered me. Doctors go to school for years. MLM Huns, yeah, you didn't. Stop by trying to take control of others' health. That's really sad, and she, I believe, also sent screenshots of essentially what her and the MLMer were talking about. So we could look at this. So the MLMer says, hey blank, I saw your post about looking for great skincare. I'm not sure if you found any yet, but I just did a Facebook Live about why a good skincare regimen is important. Let me know if you want 6 key essentials for a good skincare regimen, and I would be happy to send them over. My girl said, I did find something that is working well. Unfortunately, I promised my friend Molly I would try her products next if the ones I chose weren't working. Thanks for the offer though. The MLMer goes, oh no problem, I'm glad you found something that works for you. I would also suggest taking a look at your gut health and if you need a reset. A lot of our skin issues can be used by an overload of toxins in the body. If you're open to checking it out, I can send you a video about the company and nutrition program that I align myself with, which resets your gut. It has helped me clear up my skin tremendously, help my sleep issues, and given me a lot of energy. No pressure to do it or anything, just a chance to learn if it could fit for you and help resolve some of your skin issues you may be dealing with. My girl says, I see a doctor for my gut health. I have a gluten intolerance, my dad has celiac. I think I would continue to see my doc for things about my gut, so no thanks. The MLMer then messages again and says, based on what you have said, I honestly feel like it could be a great fit for you and right up your alley. It's all certified vegan and gluten-free. We actually have a lot of people who have gluten intolerances, celiac, thyroid issues, etc. No. And have approval from their doctors to do the program and experience great results. I also like to encourage people to look before saying no, so you know what you're saying no to. There's absolutely no pressure to try it. Girl, but you just I can't take no for an answer. Instead of taking no for an answer, you tell her, oh, so you know what you're saying no to? I think she knows what she's saying no to. Then the MLMer sends another message because my girl doesn't respond. And she says, hey blank, I apologize for not following up sooner. How are you doing? My girl said, I'm doing good. What's up? MLMer said, I just wanted to check in to see if you would be open to checking out the video based on what you have said. I feel like it could be a good fit for you. If you take a look and find it isn't for you, no problem. But I always encourage people to take a look so they know what they're saying no to. Girl, I think she heard you the first time. Then my girl says, I love your videos. I don't support MLMs due to their overpriced products, blah, 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 blah. And then radio silence after the above message. So clearly once she expressed, I'm not interested in your Arbonne products, like that's pyramid scheme, she stopped messaging her. First off, that really annoys me because if she's talking about Arbonne, she's probably talking about the 30-day reset, which I have watched multiple dietitians and nutritionists actually talk about this, and specifically actual registered dietitians though talk about this program and how bad it is for you. So the fact that she's going around and telling people like, ew, this is so good for you because you have skin problems. How do you know that someone's skin problems is related to how they're eating? Personally, I have skin problems because of hormonal issues. That has nothing to do with what I'm eating. So I don't get where they get this in their head that there's some doctors that are like allowed to say whatever it is that they want to say. They're allowed to reach people that have these issues, and I have a gluten allergy. I have been tested for celiac. I know what that's like, and I would be so annoyed to have someone come to me and tell me what I need to do for my body that I know and my doctor knows. Like, no thank you. And then also, aside from the Arbonne chick, her own friend from Beauty Counter, that really sucks because that is your friend. Your friend clearly knows that you're going for surgery and she's essentially using that to try and get you to purchase, which if we all think about it, like you already stated, when you're going for brain surgery, I doubt Beauty Counter makeup is on your to-do list. Okay, for me, I'm not even getting surgery right now and makeup is not on my to-do list. We're still in quarantine. I don't need any of that. So I don't get it. Like, where do they get it in their head that, oh, it's smart to go for people that are going for surgery, or it's smart to go for people who have these actual issues with their body, like a gluten sensitivity, things wrong with, you know, their bodily functions. Like, you're not a doctor. Let her just do what her doctor says. That one really, really ticks me off. But let's move on to the next one. This one says, hey Deanna, if you use this, you can also use my name. So I believe her name is pronounced Deanne. It's literally spelled D-E-A-N-N-E instead of D-E-A-N-N-A like mine. So mine's Deanna, so I'm guessing hers is Deanne, because it can't be Danny. Let me know if it is, that'd be kind of cool. But she said, hey Deanna, if you use this, you can use my name. So I just had my 3rd baby in June. I just found out at 3 months pregnant that I had a placenta previa and was put on strict bed rest. I was then fired from my job as a CNA because I was on bed rest, which is illegal. So not only do I have the stress of being on bed rest with 2 older children, I then have no job. Then COVID hit and my husband got laid off. I spent so many days crying because of the stress our family was enduring. Then a woman from our church showed up at our house unannounced during COVID to try and recruit me to sell premier jewelry. She kept telling me how great her life was and how much money she makes. I was so angry. My husband tried in the most polite way to get her to leave, and she wouldn't take the hint. So I finally flat out told her she needed to leave. She then took to Facebook to say how lazy people can be because they don't want to work the business. And then she told the woman at church she shouldn't buy from my son's fundraiser because I won't buy from her. She told them it wasn't biblical to not support your church family. I just never responded to any of her hate. I have had my baby and he is a sweet, chunky, healthy baby. We still go to that church, but I just don't talk to her. I love your videos, and I also make anti-MLM videos on YouTube. Thank you for taking time to read my story. Okay, short, quick, to the point. I like these kind of stories, but I'm so sorry that any of that happened to you, but I'm so happy at the end of it you had a healthy, but I am really glad that you had, a healthy baby boy and all of that stuff. But that really just sucks that she then would go to the church, and that's what makes me really frustrated. I feel like week after week with these MLM horror stories, we're always hearing about the church and things that have to do with God and religion, and everything about this situation doesn't seem biblical. Like, she wanted to say, oh, it's not biblical to not support your church people. Well, that doesn't sound biblical to me, to talk bad about people and bring hate upon people. Like, that just doesn't seem right to me. Like, to tell people at your church to not buy from her, to go on Facebook and to talk crap, and to say that this woman, this pregnant woman, just doesn't want to work because she's lazy during COVID and got laid off. Oh no, I would slap a hoe. That would be literally what would happen. So let's move on to the next one before I get mad. But this is another short story. It says, "Hi Deanna, I recently found your channel and I've been loving your content. My experience is with Mary Kay and not your typical MLM experience. A few years ago, someone used my credit card for a purchase of $227 to Mary Kay. I disputed the charge with my card company and they sent me a receipt showing the consultant's name, address, and email." Oh, they sent you the address. It also had the shipping address for the order. I contacted Mary Kay and they said the money for the order was charged using ProPay, which is what Mary Kay uses for website orders. My credit card company was able to stop the payment, but Mary Kay could not cancel the order. So in turn, the consultant ended up being out the $227 instead of Mary Kay because each consultant has their own ProPay account. I guess this is how they accept payment on their individual websites. I found the consultant on Facebook and sent her a message. She said that usually she has to approve purchases, but this one was able to go through. She said after that happened, she closed her ProPay account and took orders over the phone or at parties instead of website orders. I thought that was really messed up that Mary Kay doesn't take responsibility for website orders that are fraudulent, and instead they let the consultants take a loss. This is super short, but I think it's good to share, especially if someone is considering joining an MLM. Like, Mary Kay, wait, so someone used your credit card. The MLM consultant then said, well, I don't know who that is. I beg to differ. That is clearly just fraud in general, like someone legitimately stole your credit card, but I think people need to be paying more attention, or I feel like Mary Kay needs to do better at that. Like, when it comes to their system that allows for payments and things like that, that should be better, or consultants should double check and make sure that person is purchasing for themselves. But with social media now, that can be kind of hard. Like, say I go to purchase something from an MLM, right, and I give them credit card info, they may not automatically know that it's fraud because it's all online. When in person, you can ask for like, oh, where's your proof of ID that this is your credit card or debit card? So that's really crappy that someone would use your credit card for Mary Kay. Like, they couldn't go use it for something better. I'm sorry, that's really bad to say, but think about it. Someone used someone's credit card to order Mary Kay products instead of like getting food or like life necessities or like a computer, an Apple Watch, the new iPhone 12. Like, you didn't want to get anything else but Mary Kay makeup. So this one seems fun because it says a funny MLM story, which I don't think we've really had like funny MLM stories, so I thought this would be fun to do. So this says, "Hey Deanna, my name is blank and please keep me anonymous. I sent you a longer separate story about my experience in Beachbody a few weeks back, but here's another one." Oh, I hope I read that one already. If I didn't, I'd have to go back and look. It says, "I work in an outpatient medical facility. One day, a mom age 50-ish, dressed professionally, brought in her 15-year-old daughter. I call this mom Karen. When it was the daughter's turn, we called her in and mom Karen followed. Daughter was telling her mom to stay in the waiting room, but Karen followed her in anyway. I wish I would have had the balls to tell Karen that her daughter was perfectly allowed to be treated without her mother hovering. But hey, we didn't know what we were in for. We soon found out. Karen comes in and starts asking all of us and our names, 5 of us girls working together. She said she brought us some free samples from her company. Lotion, makeup, I think it was Mary Kay. At first this didn't seem nefarious. Girl, you're using big words. And if you watch my channel, you know I'm not good at pronouncing these. So she said at first this didn't seem nefarious because patients bring us treats all the time. Anyways, we all appeared to like the samples, so she then busts out some note card size surveys asking for our name, phone number, and what kind of makeup we liked. I said, I don't use makeup. She twisted it around and came off as super friendly in a way. Creepy pushy vibes to me, and somehow convinced everyone to do the survey. I stood in the corner and watched as my coworkers filled it out. I think they felt cornered and didn't want to be mean. I say F that shit. I picked up my survey that I did not fill out and the sample and said to Karen, here, you can have this back. I said I don't use makeup. Deanna, I would pay to have filmed her face when I did that. It was priceless. She looked so taken aback and was actually speechless. We finally got rid of her when we were done with her daughter's procedure, and the daughter was red-faced with embarrassment, and I felt really bad. No wonder she didn't want her mom in here. A week later, all of my coworkers reported that Karen had been blowing up their phones with several voice messages, trying to talk to them about makeup or whatever, and how they all blocked her. I'm like, see? And they all commended me for saying no. We haven't seen her again, thank goodness. She was so pushy and so salesy. I really saw right through the crap, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. Keep making videos. It's so important to spread awareness about this garbage. People will do anything. People will do anything. Every time I read these stories, I'm like, it can't get worse. It can't get worse. Like, there can't be a story worse than that story, and there just is. Like, your daughter has a procedure. Your daughter is seeing the doctor, and you think it's okay to like come in professionally dressed and have like makeup bags ready, which I don't think there's anything wrong with in general, like giving things to nurses or doctors or things like that if they're allowed to take them, because that's really nice to do. They're taking care of you. It's during a hard time right now and things like that. But that's just, I feel bad, yeah, for the daughter. The fact that she was like red-faced and she was so embarrassed is really sad for her that she has to deal with that. I just couldn't imagine. Like, I could not imagine my mom doing that. I would be so mad. So let's move on to the next one. This is Amway MLM horror story. It says, hey Deanna, I started watching your videos recently as I am getting more into the anti-MLM movement. Sorry this is going to be a long one, but I hope you consider it for your next video. Flashback to 6 years ago. I was only 17 years old and I just started working at our local pet store. To this day, it's one of the best and most fun jobs I have worked. I was working on the floor one day and this young woman asked me to help her find toothpaste for her dog. I showed her all the options and worked my sales skills on her. For context, I am Asian and so was she. The town I lived in is predominantly white, and so whenever I met someone that was Filipino like me, it was like an instant connection. She looked like she could have been my older sister, and she was so friendly and warm, telling me stories about her dog and how she comes to town to visit every week. During the checkout process, she then asked me if I was truly happy with my job. I said yes, but I wish I could be making more for the amount of work I was doing. Big mistake. She kept complimenting me and saying that she had a business opportunity that I would fit the bill perfectly. She gave me her card and told me to text her if I was interested. She did not give any details as to where she worked and what it was, etc. I was curious, so I did reach out to her and she just asked me to meet at Starbucks next time she was in town. During our first meeting, it was all about just getting to know me. She asked me some personal questions about my family's finances. Let's not forget that I was 17 and not even legal yet. At the end of our coffee, she gave me a book that she claimed helped her so much and was the reason she was debt-free. It was the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I took it home and it was so boring I didn't end up reading it. Let me stop. That's like way too personal. Like, you do not come to like meet me for the first time. Like, if I were to go get coffee with someone, which I would love to do, please COVID end already, but I would love to do that again one day. That would be so disrespectful. Like, don't just sit here and ask me my finances and my family's finances. Like, that has nothing to do with you or me or what is happening right now. That's so rude. She says next meeting, she finally opened up about what she was doing, but she did not say yet the name of the company. She just said that she owned an online website where you could buy literally anything, beauty products, household products, food, etc. She was bragging about how she was able to retire both her parents, and she was helping some girls in the area build their businesses too. I believe she was about 25 or 26 at the time and said she was financially free and she was in the process of repurchasing her home. To me, these values were extremely important. My family is not as well off, and we do help family in the Philippines too. I would have loved nothing more than to help out my parents and feel like this is how she got to me. Before the meeting ended, she gave me a bunch of resources about Amway. Finally, I found out what the name of the company was. She also invited me to meet her mentors, her uplines, at the next party because they were so excited to meet me. And I felt so uncomfortable I declined. Sounds like a cult, huh? I did some research on Amway and it was so confusing to me. All the resources she gave me were just about senior people at the top of the tier and how everybody is retired and financially free. I just couldn't understand why she was trying to recruit me because I didn't even have a credit card yet. No way in hell did I have $1,000 to start up this website, and she didn't even give me a link to her site so I could see an example of what it was. So sketchy. I sent her a long text explaining myself and how I was declining her offer. She tried calling me and was in panic mode trying to change my mind. She kept saying to ask my mom to add me as a supplementary credit card holder so I could start the business. WTF. I ended up making some elaborate excuse so she could finally leave me alone. A couple weeks later, she showed up at my work again and asked me how I was doing. It was brief, but before she left, she gave me samples of shampoo and conditioner. LOL, I only imagine now if it was Monat. I threw it away, blocked her number, and never heard from her again. To this day, I still can't believe this happened to me and that I got that deep into it. She was low-key a predator and find it disgusting that she was so desperate to recruit. So another point about this is you said you were 17. It's illegal. Like, you have to be 18 years or older, and then her telling you to ask your parents to put your name down for their credit card. Imagine, I could just imagine trying to do that with my mom. She would slap me upside my head. Okay? She's like, Deanna, who do you think you are? Like, I can't believe it. And you did say, oh, I can't believe I got in that deep, but I think you did a really good job, especially being 17 and you saying that you guys help your family in the Philippines and you help families in the Philippines. It probably was something that really reached out to you. Like, you probably seen it and was like, oh, this is something that I could really do and I could help people. But I feel like at that age, a lot of people would fall into something like this. Like, they wouldn't do research or they wouldn't really think about it. They'd be like, ooh, money, I want it. I don't know. That's just what I see a lot nowadays, and kind of how I was at that age. Like, I was already at 17, I was working, and then I went to the army. Like, I was very money oriented already. So I feel like something like that at that age could really negatively impact somebody, because if people are really recruiting underage, like, come on. Like, you couldn't recruit someone your own age. You couldn't get someone who is actually of age, who could have credit cards and debit cards on their own and not be on their parents' accounts, and not going after someone who is of that age, who doesn't probably have all of the knowledge in MLMs that people who are older have. Like, come on, that's so predatory to me. Like, that's much more predatory than I find if someone's like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. You know what I mean? You're a child, like, you're still a kid. You're not even at the legal age to be an adult yet. Like, come on. So that's going to be it for today's story. So let me know what you thought about this last one, because I thought that was a little bit crazy, and how you guys feel about this whole underage thing. So don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below what you thought of today's video. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but Vlogmas actually starts next week, so I'm super excited about that. So I will actually be trying, please, hold me accountable to upload 24 videos, because that's what Vlogmas is where you upload videos from December 1st to December 24th. So you guys would get 24 videos. Hold me accountable to that, but don't be disappointed if I miss a day or two. But I'm really going to try and get it all done for you guys, and it's a big goal of mine to be able to complete Vlogmas and upload all of those videos. So starting next week, Vlogmas starts. I will be seeing you guys every day starting next week. Bye.